welcome to a Wave Defense speedrun, where we could try to get better by practicing segments and mechanics and stuff like that, or we could just redesign the base. And today we've got a bit of a doozy. We have, let's get all of these guys, the crafting we want into the queue. I think we've got enough coal to be able to immediately just box all those trees. We smashed out a sub 50 derusting run pretty recently, which was real nice, and led us to the conclusion that if we are going to worry about going real fast, then maybe we should reorganize the blue and red chips so that it's more representative of not needing RCUs rather than just not building the part of the base that usually did that stuff in 1.1. So, if this fits together well, we could be going pretty quickly. We could also mess up any number of things. There are a lot of options. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if we're getting enough wood on this map, but I think we definitely are, because we just picked up a pile of it. We're going to take this directly across to the coal because we're building the base north, and so this is the direction the coal can be. That is, it's a decent coal patch, isn't it? Let's get one of these guys here, and then we're going to move off in that direction. We are going to need a little bit more in to connect stuff up. Put this where the mining drills are, because we're not going to use individual mining drills at all now. That's probably enough. I am not concerned. So, it's not true. We're going to do that. Okay. Send this towards the power grid, and then march off with me as we realize the iron patch is garbage. Wow. Can we make this work? I think here is not where we want to go. We want to move this across up. Actually, it doesn't matter. Here are the trees that we were thinking about. That stone is so much in the way that I don't even think... let's move this back one. If we can get 50 miners on this, then maybe we're okay. And okay, trees were not a problem here. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is going to be okay. It's going to be weird, and we're going to spend a lot of belt taking this stuff around the other way. In fact, we already have a whole lot more furnaces than we really want. We are going to want to prioritize onto the left-hand side. Okay, and we are still going to worry about being low on belt. Where can... the base is a different shape. This probably is enough space to... we can't start there. We've already put the things in the wrong place. Oh, we also needed, at this point... we were thinking about all the terrible things we've done to the iron and forgot to change that around. Okay, give me this stuff, because we are going to need a bit more belt because we did this weird nonsense over here. But we should be able to just... hopefully not tax the bots too hard when we are trying to build all of this stuff in the middle of these trees. Never mind. Bots struggling to get all their stuff does continue to be an issue. They're just all of these guys fine. Splitter here. All of those trees are going to go, but they're not going to have to go yet. We're not going to need furnaces again. Not that. We want to clip off the last one. We want substations here and here. And then... why are we not actually... Okay, whatever. We did something about that wrong, not super concerned. Mainly because there are kind of a lot of other things going on at the same time. I want that because it's got coal in it. We need to throw down another 2 of these guys. It's fine. all of those pipes are gonna have to pipes. All those trees are gonna have to go. Substation, I think, goes here, and we want belt, gears, chips. Do a thing and a thing, and not like so. But double boxes in some of these places. Not all of those need to exist. We didn't do it super well. It's fine. I get some car stuff. That's why we have these elements on the hotbar here. We've already made more belts than we usually would. Go back to the functional hotbar, send this stuff into the main build, grab anything that's hanging around here, and then just keep making stuff. And then all of this is, yeah, a lot of this is going to need to go. So much of this is going to need to go. Wild. Okay, and we've also built more than we need here because we weren't really paying attention to it. Cool. We also... Oh no, we don't do this yet. We were just thinking about being short of iron. Okay, that's what we do there. This is the bit where we would, delete all of this stuff as well. Bots are going to have an interesting time. This is the bit where we go and visit the steel. This is also kind of waiting for the car to craft. Then the stone is just here, so that's nice. You know what we're going to do? Actually, that belt can stay. All this wood. We're going to make it useful. Okay, I've got a couple of these guys. Actually, that's not what really we wanted to do at all. We wanted to change this to pipes. And then also change these guys to pipes. Set all that off. Give me all the stuff. Yeah, not be doing any of this junk. I want 2 cars and then just helpful things. Okay, down here we should be able to have one of these guys making furnaces for us, which is going to be helpful. And then we want to go and find the copper, which is pretty well placed, I guess. It's actually, let's put it there, and then let's have the first one go here. That is... I don't think we're happy with 2.2k, but I think we're going to... Okay, if it's one of the ones we don't have, we are going to ignore it. Why? Because we're out of poles? Oh no, because bots being silly, waiting for their assignments. Cool, did that all work? Yeah, more or less. Where is the smelt face? The smelt face is over here. Okay. Can we just force some of this stuff through? Give me this back. Was that the right play? I think I've got enough belt to make this work. Yeah, go through here. Bots will enjoy a little bit of help with the furnaces because they're still going to struggle with that. Give me all of this stuff. I'm not handcrafting anything, which feels really bad. Just kicked off 5 burner mining drills, which also feels really bad. Do I have pipes? I should have pipes, because the other thing I would like to do is handcraft another 80 of these. 51, sure. Okay, give me all of this stuff. We're going to start the green chips build, and there's still, so many trees that all need to disappear. There's going to be, okay, yeah, we still have the pipes in the queue, and we have iron ore in our inventory, which we don't need and usually don't have, but never mind. Yeah, get this stuff out of my inventory, get this stuff out of my inventory. How many? 20? Cool. And then we actually need more inserters is what we actually need, but that's fine because the rest of the stuff wasn't taking up all that much queue space after all. You guys can get in here. Yeah, we need to downgrade one of these assemblers, which is fine. We need to get the other source of iron in here as well. Needing more undergrounds. totally normal. Cutting this guy off, also pretty normal. And then, yeah, doing the rest of this buffer setup, because it's pretty important. Grab this pattern, put it here, and also where it can connect to the copper in a way that's nice. Give me more copper, because I would like actually some power poles, and then the thing we really need to do, especially as it's nighttime already, is the military craft. And then we want to get some inserters here. We want to get some gears, because gears make inserters. And this is the first bit of the base that power pole's in a different place to where it usually is, because of everything else we need to tag in later. So these priorities are not done. Okay, I think we should limit these as well. I think we should give these guys some stuff, and I think we should go and do some combat, which is interesting because we've not crafted any ammunition. No, we want the legs and we want these things out. We want an additional car here. We want to take all the combat stuff with us, and then realize that we very much need to push in both the top left and also bottom right position. So that's going to be a little bit spooky, because we need to save the oil from these dudes. And they will attack the car in a way that's a bit of a shame. No huge deal. Yeah, get some upgrades. Get 2 upgrades. Can I have a grenade, please? A grenade would be really cool. Do we need to... Yeah, we're going to deal with them as well. Mining productivity 1. I don't think we need to deal with these guys, but we're gonna deal with these guys. And we're going to do a kind of a little fadeaway thing and then run over here, because this place has the worms. And so, yeah, mining productivity 2, 550 is kind of an awkward amount of points that we can't really do anything with. Maybe we should have just tried to kill a worm or tried to kill a nest or something like that, whatever. Yeah, we want a lot of inserters now. We want to swing through and grab... we missed... want to grab those things as well. We want upgrades on these. We want all the stuff. And yeah, more inserters. It's already day 3, which is not fantastic, but not terrible. Yeah, just crafting useful stuff. Oh, like that. Yeah, we're a little bit behind where we would like to be. We can put these guys back in. We want all of these inserters, and we want to change you to mining drills, and we want to make sure that you get all the stuff. And then I also would like copper in my inventory. Yeah, we gave you a lot of iron. Okay. And then we got to go extend the power grid. This is the way we want the belt to go, and it can start from like here, I guess. Where is the grid? The grid is down here. And yeah. That's where that wants to be. Crafting some helpful stuff. Coming back to the utility hotbar. Part of the grid we want to copy includes the underground, and should sit here, and then we want to not have the underground, and then have the underground again, and then use the underground to connect the water, connect the power, run down this side to connect the power here as well, and we had actually lined those up somewhat properly, so we should see the electric engines on the other side doing their thing. We've actually kicked off, so we are short of 12... give me these back. Start crafting power poles. Yeah, we're short of 12 engines, which is fine. I also had a little pause there to check whether or not that thing, this thing, whether or not we had the miners we wanted to drop in the rest of the coal mining, and we kind of do. Yeah, do that. We do need to drive past once more, but it's fine. We can have another one here as well, can't we? That's going to be pretty good. We're going to do that. We actually want to prioritize into the smelting grid at this point. And then this is enough of all that stuff so we can recover some of these. I think actually we just drop these 4 drills on the coal, and that's going to be enough, and we're not going to worry about it. Oh, we never had... Okay, we've always been short of 2 of those. Interesting. The other thing we're going to want with some degree of priority is to start to get the coal down here, so we're going to do that. And then... yeah, we've got a lot of stone, we got this stuff, we've got another 78 drills, which is more than we want. Back to these things. Yeah, you give me all the stuff. And then I wanted... that's 15, but whatever. Cool. Do I have the undergrounds for this? We've got a ton of belt. Did we limit the belt chest? Did we fail to limit the belt chest? That would also... I mean, either of those would be unfortunate, but whatever. This looks like it might be a decent amount of copper. I think that's going to end up being about 1 lane. We also did not queue this upgrade. 6-7. Which is... I think we'll be able to get away with, because we don't need as much of it. Because we're not building as much Petrochem. This looks like a 84. This is a lot of copper for a wave defense map. Where are you, and could you be down here instead? Left. Yeah, see, we got all those things built, it's fine. Yeah, that copper can just kind of stay there, it's going to be fine. Give me... I think we're going to be fine for belt. Are we going to be fine for... what are we doing? I like that the undergrounds can fast replace belts in some directions, but the same belt cannot fast replace the inserters in... Yeah, the same belt cannot fast replace the same undergrounds that already just fast replaced them. Okay, so day 4, we would like to have the big greens up at this point, but we don't. But we are getting suit charge back, so it should go pretty quickly. We're going to need some more of these. We're going to need 6 tanks. We're going to need, yeah, a lot more underground pipe. The belt delay is actually getting us at the moment. We would like to have this copper just straight up arriving. And it is not. I'm also going to need more of these guys. We're going to need some of this. This is going to have to go here. This is going to get in the buffer. Yeah, these guys. I think we keep them going for a bit. Did we... Yeah, 5 stacks. That could be why we've got so much of that stuff. Anyway, more of this. Yeah, and then all these trees we said were in the way, and they will continue to be in the way, and we are pretty close to the edge of that section of the map, so that could also be... I mean, we do have a backup strategy for that. Yeah, this is what we want, and we're going to put it here. We want to downgrade all of these furnaces, and then take this up to 10 in 2 places. We need a power connection here. We should have... You're supposed to be racing... maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, we're supposed to be racing the belt delay there, and we kind of weren't. Okay, we are making pipes ourselves. All these guys look like they're getting things done. Yeah, give me all of... Okay, you... Give me all of your copper into the logistic storage. Give me all of this iron. That's not very much iron. Give me all of... Yeah, let's cut these gears at this point. Yeah, sure. Okay. The oil is in that bottom half position. We are going to need more pipes to do the Petrochem. I'm pretty sure we did 1130. I don't know what the numbers are other than 11, but it's probably fine. Can we drive through a gate? Would be better. And then realize that we also need this connection. And then hopefully we have secured this area. Number 7, number 6, number 5 is good job knowing the toolbars you set up specifically for this scenario. We're going to connect it like so. Yeah, whatever. It's probably fine, and we're not going to defend it, and probably those other biters are far enough away that we don't have to worry about it. What do we need? I think assembler 2s are still a thing I would like to craft more of. Where is this going relative to the rest of the base? I think we want to grab it in... okay, cool. Oh, is this a maximum extent thing? Do we need... We might need... Okay, we probably only need one pump, but whatever. We might need a pump to manage this distance. New 1.0 things. Hopefully we can... we are not going to be able to sneak in the thing there. Bit of a shame. Here... Sure, is this going to be... Yeah, we can just drop in... Not there. I think we can just drop in the first 2 tanks here, and then let's also go and get this one other... I believe I said there was a different lake. Is there a different lake we could use for the Petrochem, or was that a run that I thought of previously and then scrubbed because I was bad? I think it might have been the latter. Okay. Yeah, we're going to need... Give me these. Give me some of this stuff. We're going to need more underground pipes. This is empty, which is fine. All of those guys look like they're doing a thing. Give me this. That's going to be enough. Red belt. Is that... Yeah, that's the top... That is the top left-hand corner, which we said was going to be a problem. So, yeah, I don't really have any plans to do anything about that, other than just hope it doesn't die. Yeah. Here is... That's one tank. All of this stuff needs to get out the way. That beeping is going to continue. Move these guys down. Hopefully the mechanics work out here. This... Yeah, we don't need that many tanks. It's going to be fine. Okay, these guys didn't quite work out. Whatever. Okay, so this is... we're going to have to... Yeah, we're going to cut a couple of pipes off this thing. Oh, wait, we also forgot this reasonably important pipe that we're going to use for other stuff as well. And then we're going to go straight into rocket fuel here. I think we want to be building the LDS at this point, according to things that are fast, which, I mean, this is still... I will say this is still a derusting run, which is... I mean, it would be more true if we had not already decided we were going to change the base with a bunch of stuff, but never mind. Yeah, we want this going underground, we want a tank here, we want a tank here, we want this getting in, we want solid fuel on the right. We want to make sure that hits both sides, and then we want something like this, whatever. We want all those things in boxes. We wanted 14 of these in total. We have 10. And then also, this is going to need to do a thing. Cool, thanks. So 10, 12, 14. But then for weird reasons, we're going to get rid of these two. And then we also want another 3 refineries on the end like so. And then this belt is going to have to pop out in a kind of way. All these trees are going to be in a way it's going to be a problem. Yeah, one of the... Maybe I'll talk more about this later, depending on whether or not we can make all of this work quickly. But we're just going to fit here. We need one heavy oil cracking immediately because... basically because of... are we just short on just a couple of pipes? Basically because of we still need all the same amount of rocket fuel, but we need less plastic. So we're doing fewer refineries. Basically that is going to see if we can make that work. Do we still have... Yeah, we're going to need a couple more of these for the other thing. Assemblers, long-handed inserters. Okay, and then we want to start the rest of this build. I guess... not actually though. Here. This iron wants to unpack. We want a fuel source here. We actually want 2 of these things. We're going to have a steel line here. Oh, we needed to get the steel and coal first. Oh well, I guess we're doing that later. A line of copper, a line of plastic, some chem plants doing a plastic thing, but in an interesting place, onto a buffer. And we should go and get the coal and the steel. More than actually worrying about this. Oh, and also we should change the LDS recipe, and we should give these guys their inserters, and we should make sure that these guys have their power. But most of all, there's a nice little copy and paste we need to do there later. The steel is the thing we need to worry about first, but this is going to end up, yeah, on the pipe that goes under that tank. It's fine. And then the steel is actually not too far away. Running out of belt. Kind of unfortunate. I think we needed more belt anyway in that case. Yeah, in that case, give me both of these, but give me some of this back. Can we presume... Yeah, we can have enough gears with this, aren't we? We're not going to run into a gears problem as well. We are filtering all of this stuff off, which is good. Give me steel so I can have beacon steel. And then this is already the correct side of the belt, but we've run it into the wrong place. Fine, yeah, that may not have been... Okay, whatever. Hopefully we can... Okay, whatever. Oh, it's because we've got 1 billion wood. Okay, whatever. Give me this back. The copy we want to make now is... this thing that many times, which is less than we were doing previously. Also this, that was actually a lie. We need these belts as well. And then the reason why all this copper is in this inventory is so we can get that started immediately. That can run, we want to go up to 16 on the low density structure. All of this stuff needs to get out the way. Some of these trees are going to need to maybe move. I don't know. I might have accidentally deleted a gun turret in there, which would be a problem. What are you guys all... we got some of these inserters in the right place, but not others. So that's super cool. We need to make sure that the LDS build is not busted. It looks not busted. It should also run. That would be nice. We did all 16. And then we got to unpack this buffer. And this is where things do start to get new. This section is the same. I've got to run this in. Well, okay. We've got... more, whatever, that's fine. We are not so much worried about that. We want to downgrade these guys. Give me all the stuff. I still have a pile of belt here. Then this belt wants to run in this position and do a weird little hook over there. The LDS we have got going to the important place that it needs to be, which is fine. Then we wanted... Yeah, the cool thing about this new build, that's more than we want. We want this number of red chips here. This is day 6. Yeah, this is... We definitely can be doing this better. So that's where that stuff goes. I needed this interface as well. Is it easier to do this rather than rebuilding it? Who knows? And it's going to go here and here. As a special case for this one, this is how the pattern used to be as well, but then there's a new trick where this one actually goes the other way, and the reason this pole's in a different place is so we can cut through here. Not there. Through here. And then this is straight up where the red chips start. So, much reduced belt delay. I'm going to need underground belts. Yeah, vastly reduced belt delay. Red chips running immediately would be really good if everything else was up to the pace that we wanted it. I want coils because we've not actually done a particularly good job of making poles, despite having all of this copper. Okay, cool. Yeah, all of these guys, we've got enough for the rest. Yeah, I think we've got all... Okay, I was making the undergrounds, that's why. Okay, we want a little bit of a boost here, and then 3 lines like so, for reasons, and then 2 more red chips here, and it ended up being... You know, I'm sure they'll be fine. This ammunition. Yeah, we need to connect this somewhere. We need these inputs to get in. This is actually more than 1 belt's worth of stuff, so we're going to pull that out like so. These are going to connect here. We're actually going to turn 2 of these into prod mods. To go here, this belt turns down. We go inserter, inserter, use filter for this stuff, and then here... Oh wait, we need to do one other unpacking thing first. We need to connect to this belt. The others don't super matter yet. And then... Do we have enough long-handed inserters for this? All of the greens... like so. We want beacons. Yeah, I'm gonna need more... I'm gonna need more copper cable. There we go, we've got more copper cable. That's a lot of beacons. We're going to need blue chips. We're going to need a little placeholder so we can be putting these belts underground. And then we're going to want this pattern again here, with these guys instead doing rod mods. And then in a beacon and pipe friendly pattern, like so. And then a thing we're going to need, I believe here, yeah, we don't need these guys anymore, is a pair of inserters that go red chips, blue chips, blacklist. Just like that. And then we're also going to need to go box here or something. This guy wants to go... Yes. All this... looks like it's more or less running. We need to go and unpack the other chips we will eventually need for the blue chips. Other things I like about this plan, we are getting the beacon and module construction underway before even having to worry about unpacking the rest of these green chips, which is really nice. I like that. And then we hopefully also have a... Is it you guys? Whatever. A precise... plan. We've already got 7 beacons. Is it red chips? It's going to be red chips, isn't it? You know what? We're going to need more of those as well. Okay. And then we should also, in theory, have a precise plan to go... That position here is going to work if we flip it vertically, because we're going to need to connect water from here. No, that position is not going to work. We're going to need to bring this down this way. And flip this vertically. Yes. Hole here. We've got a couple of extra undergrounds, and then we want to go 2, 3, and then 1 space. Get rid of one of these. Get rid of some of this faff. Get rid of some of this faff. Oh hey, what if this one made acid instead? What if this one made sulfur instead? We would need a place for this one to get not that flip, this flip, water here, and then we happen to put this one in exactly the right place, so that's cool. Yeah, you're going to go this way, you're going to have stuff, you're going to actually be in exactly the correct space to come over here. You guys now want to be blue chips, and then also have some of these. Yeah, we're just going to presume that we have made enough of these modules. That's enough of the speed mods. We still need a number of prod mods. Definitely enough speed mods. The thing we really need to do at this point... oh, we got the other green chips over here. Yeah, we need to get... power is fine. Belt is low. Interesting. Everything looks like it's working, which is both pleasant and a surprise. The LDS is doing a thing. We've got 5 here. This belt of coils is full as it's going in. We've got, yeah, more of these prod mods. 60. We are not going to need either of these prod mods anymore, and 2 of these guys can head over this way for the blue chips thing. Actually, that's not correct. This one wants to be a blue chips thing. This one wants to go to prod mod 2s. And yeah, do the thing. And then, yeah, that's right. The important thing we went back to get more belt for is that all of these green chips on these belts need to replace with... Yeah, okay. Let's get the legs back in, because we've done the majority of the building. I've got some copper that we can just throw in here, and it's fine. The copper is making it down to the end of the LDS. We're filled up on gas. The cracking looks pretty good. The thing we need to do... actually, there's a couple of things we need to do. Number 1, you need these. And then how many... I believe, and maybe we should check this later, that that's enough on that front. And then we want to be able to go blue chips on this side. And not there, actually. Through here? Is this how we can get to... This is how we can get to the main rocket component storage. Which we can take to the silo. But I think before we do that, we want to go check... we can just run straight through here, fine. Yeah, we want to check how many of these parts... Oh yeah, because this inserter here. These 2 boxes are doing this nice little backup function of grabbing everything else we want. How many... Oh, I would like to have the first one of these. 7, 8. Yeah, we have not crafted too many of these things, which is super nice. So I think we have turned off all the red chips over here, which is cool. How are we doing on our components? We are... LDS is lagging behind rocket fuel, which is fine, because it's always kind of weird. These guys are all running. You have... Oh yeah, because I've got these guys. 7, 8, 9. We need another 3 cycles of this. So we've actually got the 4 we need to be able to... yeah, there's another one over here, fine. Yeah, we're going to be able to turn this guy back into a blue chips assembler later. And do what we need to. And it looks like everything is... no, you are done. and those are the 2 cycles you want. I, at this point, would really like to be starting to move this buffer of stuff towards the silo, because that's the point in the run that it is now. Yep. Let's have a gap here. Good job having a plan, because it is time to turn the silo on, but to do that we should have the prod mods. And also beacons. I've got beacons in my inventory, I'm not super concerned about that. But over here somewhere, we should now have all the prod mods? Oh, look at that timing. Give me all of this stuff. So you're now on blue chips as well. Actually, give me a copy of this. And get this stuff out of my way. And then we would like to put the modules in the silo, and then power the silo, and then have the beacons I've got around the silo, and the silo is running. And we've got rocket fuel for these parts, we've got low density structure for these parts, we've not got a fish. Yeah, other little 1.1 changes, we do need a fish. The grid is fine, but also not too over-provisioned, which is nice. Okay, so we've got the fish in the silo. We've got the rocket parts all making their way over here. Yeah, you give me your stuff. And then I think we're going to be in the position of wanting to check how many of each of the parts we've made, and wondering why I've got 1 billion copper in my inventory. This space here is for driving down. The copper buffer is a little bit low, but we can spread that out, it's fine. Red belt, not a thing we need. Day 8 has begun, I don't even remember what time that is. The red chips are now starting to build up. Can you have... okay, so we are at our... Why are we getting all of this to the end? You know what? You guys make red chips as well. Is this 32? It's 32, so that's already more. This should be depleting the belt of stuff. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to encourage the red chips to get here faster. I should check my production rates. And then I think also a thing we can do is red belt this. Okay, yeah, in the last hour we have made not quite enough of any component, but in a pretty balanced way. So I'm happy with that. We need 720 of each of these. We're actually a little low on rocket fuel. We need to get to 8 something for the blue chips. It's 820? It's 820 because we also have to... yeah, we also have to... This is going to mean that we are not as insert bottlenecked, but it should be a problem, because we're not making anything other than red chips there. Yeah, because we also had to make the Prod 3 modules. So 820 is what we're looking for. 720, we're actually slow on low density structure. So, we're just going to put that there, and do that, and then make sure these guys aren't copper bottlenecked, and should not be steel bottlenecked. And I got some plastic, I got some more copper, I got some more... Do I have... Maybe I should have... Yeah, whatever. I was wondering whether I wanted another beacon. Okay, so probably we are super close to being done now. 704, 865, yeah, we are waiting on the last bits of LDS, which means that we would rather pull these guys back and then also downgrade these assemblers, to be honest, so that we can upgrade these assemblers, but probably we are done. We are done. The problem with LDS being the last thing is that it goes on this weird circuitous route. And Yeah. Okay, so I've got more beacons. Yeah, we just need 3 more low density structure. I see 2 of them there and 1 here, so I think this is everything we need. That is everything we need. We've got the fish loaded. The grid is struggling, so let's get rid of these beacons. Grid is fine. And we should be going to space, and it's just getting dark on day 8. So this feels like it's going to be super fast, which is interesting because I was calling this a derusting, and we are sub 46. I think this can tidy up a bit. Definitely, I mean, we didn't even do the iron copper sushi, but also let's check in on what these buffers are doing. Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah, we didn't actually spread these buffers around, did we? Okay, we need to go back over there to look at the thing. Yeah, this base was built quite far forwards. We definitely could have had it closer to the silo. I want to look at why low density structure did not, yeah, we could have spread these out a bit more, but we were down to blue chip craft time rather than any particular shortage of green chips. But we had, yeah, we had all of the green chips in here. We did go through the buffer, but then again we were blasting the LDS at the end. Interesting. I don't, like, we should, I believe we went to 16 here? 9 and 7, yes, 16. We've got 16 on low density structure, we've got 14 on rocket fuel, we've got 10 on light oil into solid fuel, and these ratios are all a bit weird because, yeah, we need to do more rocket fuel. We need to do the same amount of rocket fuel, but we're trying to do fewer refineries, and also we need less grid. So we're starting with 1 heavy oil cracking and then not cracking it to gas, and probably we're actually high on gas, but not in a way that's a problem. Okay, interesting. And then why are we all... Oh, because we slowed everything down. That makes sense. Yeah, so the reason why this little weird hook of copper exists is if we just run it straight in like so, then these coils take from the same side of the belt that the low density structure prefers, which means that the interaction with this buffer is not great. Whereas if we do the thing where we hook this around the other way, then the coils here and the low density structure will take from opposite sides of the belt, which creates more than 1 full belt of draw rather than just 2 half belts of draw, which means we are always hitting these furnaces and the buffer unloads in a sensible way. Whereas if all of these guys are preferentially taking from the same lane, we can get unfortunate buffer not unloading correctly things. I think we just needed to either manufacture more, but that's kind of awkward because we had the beacons here and this was basically as fast as I was planning on going, or we just need to execute better. We need to get better at remembering to get the green chips in here in this pattern. I do like the way that, yeah, when we make this plastic, we make the LDS in that cool way, and then the copper unbuffering just is right here. The green chips, if we can get faster at doing this bit, is also just right here. The red chips start right here, and then the green chips for the modules and beacons and things like that are also just right here. So I think we can get better at this plan. I was going to check the low density structure graph in particular to see if there was... No, it just came online, and then we sped it up, and then it ran out of copper. It was just... I think maybe this line... I guess there was the thing that the low-density structure should have come online earlier, because we did this first little bit, and then went to get the steel and coal, and then came back to plug it in. But I think also... I don't remember whether or not we did a good enough job of hand-feeding the copper to get it running to start with. But yeah, I'm gonna say we're pretty happy with that, because that is now... Is that over a minute faster than the 1.1 world record. That would be an interesting place for the derusting to be. I think we're pretty happy with this. I think we can work on the execution. Yeah, good times. At some point we'll turn this into a guide, but yeah, that's what we're doing.